What if one of the greatest archaeological mysteries of all time has been hiding right beneath our feet, beneath one of the most iconic monuments in human history, and we just now have the tools to uncover it? In recent weeks, the world has turned its eyes toward Egypt, as headlines from New York to Tokyo reported on a discovery that could shake the very foundations of what we know about ancient civilization. The buzz? A team of researchers claims to have uncovered vast, unexplored structures beneath the Pyramid of Khafre, the second largest pyramid on the Giza Plateau. At the heart of the project is Professor Corrado Malanga, a figure both respected and controversial, leading a team that includes Filippo Biondi from the University of Strathclyde in Scotland. Their research, relying on a highly advanced application of synthetic aperture radar, or SAR, suggests the existence of 5 previously unknown chambers within the pyramid. But that's only the beginning. Below these chambers, an intricate network of spiral tunnels and vertical shafts is believed to extend for kilometers underground. Some have even likened these findings to the fabled halls of Amenti, the mythical repository of ancient wisdom referenced in esoteric Egyptian lore and mystical texts associated with Thoth. Naturally, not everyone is convinced. Renowned Egyptologist Zahi Hawass, a man deeply entwined with the official archaeological narrative in Egypt, has dismissed the findings outright, branding them as fake news. He claims the techniques employed in this research are not scientifically recognized or validated. In the digital world, criticism has also surged. A popular Italian debunking channel has taken a hard stance, insisting that the research is fabricated, that it exists solely on YouTube, and that it's been propagated only by conspiracy theorists, not legitimate news organizations. But that's simply not true. Reports on the Khafre project have appeared in globally respected outlets: Newsweek, Euronews, The New York Post, The Telegraph, Daily Mail, Times of India, Jerusalem Post, and more. In other words, this story has gone global, and it's not just circulating in fringe communities. So what's really going on here? Why is a technique that has previously been validated now being so fiercely contested? To understand the controversy, we need to dig into the technology itself. SAR, or synthetic aperture radar, is a method already proven capable of penetrating surfaces to detect subsurface structures. However, what makes this case unique is how the team used SAR in a completely unconventional way. Instead of relying on traditional photonic data, they converted radar signals into phononic data, quantum vibrations translated into sound frequencies. This, they argue, allowed for an unprecedented resolution of underground imaging. This isn't science fiction. It's science on the cutting edge. In fact, the exact same SAR methodology, this blending of electromagnetic waves and phonon data, was successfully applied in 2022 to analyze the Great Pyramid of Khufu. That earlier study, peer-reviewed and published in the prestigious journal Remote Sensing, passed rigorous scientific scrutiny by 7 independent reviewers. The technique was tested on known structures like the Aswan Dam and Mount Vesuvius. In every instance, the radar results aligned with established knowledge, confirming the reliability of the system. In short, the method works. And it's not just academics taking notice. Some of the most sophisticated artificial intelligence systems in the world have reviewed the process, describing it as a major innovation in non-invasive archaeology. By using radar signals that penetrate the Earth's crust and converting the returning echoes into sound data, researchers can construct 3-dimensional models of underground landscapes. Applied to the Pyramid of Khafre, this has revealed what appears to be a subterranean world. Spiraling corridors, ceremonial shafts, and chambers whose purposes are still unknown. Perhaps most astonishingly, the team believes they may have glimpsed the legendary Hall of Records, a mythical structure long believed to house ancient texts, sacred artifacts, and hidden wisdom from a forgotten era of humanity. Though often dismissed as the stuff of fantasy, this underground archive has fascinated mystics, researchers, and fringe scholars for decades. Could this technology have finally found it? Predictably, the academic establishment is not eager to accept these claims. The lack of an immediate peer-reviewed publication has been a sticking point for critics. They argue that without a paper published in an official journal, the entire discovery should be dismissed out of hand. But scientific publishing is a lengthy process. Drafting, reviewing, and revising a study can take months or even years. In this case, the publication is already underway. What's more revealing is the vehemence of the opposition. Critics claim that SR can't penetrate the ground deeply enough to yield useful information about buried structures. But this is demonstrably false. Not only do specific SAR frequencies penetrate the Earth's surface, but the method has been validated in multiple geological and architectural applications. From the Gotthard Tunnel in Switzerland to the underground Muon Research Lab in L'Aquila, the same radar techniques have proven remarkably accurate in mapping internal spaces. Those attacking the project have either failed to do their homework or are willfully misrepresenting the facts. The methodology employed by Malanga and Biondi involves building a 3D sound map of underground structures. Think of it like sonar, but using radar waves that bounce off subsurface features. The echoes are then analyzed and transformed into a frequency spectrum, which is used to model the environment beneath the pyramid in 3 dimensions. When applied correctly, this process produces images with a resolution of just 25 centimeters, making it precise enough to detect not only chambers and tunnels, but also their orientation, size, and spatial relationships. All of this data is processed using proprietary software that is currently undergoing international patent approval. According to the team, no one else in the world has access to software capable of interpreting these complex signals in this specific way. That alone makes this research unique. And while critics may cry foul, the fact is that if they want to disprove the findings, they're welcome to download the same raw satellite data from Capella Space or Umbra Space and perform their own analysis if they have the tools. They won't, because they can't. The stakes here go beyond a single discovery. They speak to the deep discomfort mainstream institutions often have when the accepted version of history is challenged. If even a fraction of what Malanga's team claims is true, it would mean that entire portions of Egypt's ancient history remain hidden, quite literally buried beneath layers of stone and sand. And that possibility makes some people nervous. The underground shapes captured in the radar images are far from random. They show geometric consistency, repeated patterns, and structural symmetries that are difficult to explain as natural formations. The presence of what appear to be spiral staircases, cylindrical shafts, and multi-chambered complexes suggests intentional design, architecture that must have required incredible engineering knowledge, precision tools, and a purpose we've yet to comprehend. And so the question shifts, not how did the radar detect it, but who built it, when, and why? Of course, these are dangerous questions, especially for those who make a living defending the orthodox historical timeline. But they are necessary ones. Because if the data shows something artificial, then we have to reckon with the possibility that the ancient Egyptians, or perhaps a civilization even older, had knowledge and capabilities far beyond what we've attributed to them. Critics are fond of invoking science when trying to shut down these discussions, but science demands evidence, not denial. True skepticism is open-minded. It probes, tests, explores. What we've seen in many of the responses to this discovery is not skepticism, but dismissal. The kind of knee-jerk rejection that belongs not in the lab, but in the realm of dogma. Even now, the scientific article detailing this latest research is in development, adhering to the same process that gave us the 2022 study on Khufu's pyramid. When it's released, it will be reviewed by experts, scrutinized for flaws, and tested against known data. Until then, the most honest response we can have is cautious interest, not blind rejection. In the meantime, public curiosity has exploded. From social media to podcasts, yes, even on the Joe Rogan Experience, people are beginning to ask the same questions that academic gatekeepers fear most. Could it be that we've overlooked something monumental beneath the Giza Plateau? And if so, what does that mean for our understanding of history? To those quick to mock or dismiss, consider this. The same technique that detected known machines and corridors within the Aswan Dam, that revealed the internal structure of Mount Vesuvius, is now being applied beneath one of humanity's most enigmatic monuments. If it worked there, why wouldn't it work here? And if the data aligns, then what we're seeing is not fantasy, it's evidence. Evidence that points to intentional construction, to planning, purpose, and design, to something hidden and now possibly found. Whether that something is a ceremonial chamber, a forgotten burial site, or the mythical Hall of Records itself, only time will tell. But make no mistake, the discovery of these structures is not going away. The data exists. The models have been created, and they show that beneath the Pyramid of Khafre lies a subterranean world, unlike anything officially recognized by mainstream Egyptology. This is not a hoax. This is not clickbait. This is the beginning of a conversation we must have. If you found this investigation fascinating, I encourage you to subscribe to Shadows and Secrets for more deep dives into ancient mysteries, hidden technologies, and the stories that mainstream narratives often ignore. Leave a like if you believe in the power of questioning the official version. And don't forget to check out our other episodes for more tales that challenge conventional history. That said, thank you and see you next time.